Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino was a spot. Here on Feast Week, it is the best week of the entire year, in my opinion. Busy 3-hour program lined up today. A lot of reaction from Week 12 yesterday in the National Football League Monday Night Football preview. We've got a good NBA slate, tons of college basketball games. Nick Whalen, Warren Sharp, Vic Tafur, Week 13 numbers, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Our best bets coming up. And we do have a lot of news, Pauly, stemming from yesterday's action in the NFL. One, for the game on Thanksgiving night, Joe Burrow's going to play, according to Zach Taylor. That's a done deal. That came out a couple of hours ago. He's a starting quarterback. However, for the Bengals, there will be no T. Higgins in that game, and Trey Hendrickson will be out as well. That's massive. I mean, this whole thing, right, based on the lead up to this game and then like the Circa Survivor implications as well. And the Ravens were in a dogfight yesterday for most of that game against the Jets. Did not look good yet again.
I am still waiting for the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Lions to snap out of it and look the part. And I don't think it's going to happen.
How about this? If I told you right now all three of those teams missed the playoffs in the AFC, would you sign up for that?
Yeah, this could happen.
It's far-fetched, but I mean...
Yeah, but the Colts, the Chiefs' season was on the line and it was going to be over.
I agree.
They're down 11 in the fourth quarter. And a great job coming back, and their defense was on the field for so many plays and got it done. If you spit on me, would it take you a week to apologize? You got that from Chase finally, too, with what came out today.
That whole thing is bizarre to me.
Right. Denied it, and then, I'm caught on camera. Okay.
Oh, you got me. Yeah, the cameras were rolling, huh?
And then he waited for the apology. So You're right about Survivor starts now. Almost 300 people on the Niners tonight. What's going on at the Westgate down the street, the 5,000. And then it's a surprise because they're out of it. But Burrow's going to give it a go. And also Daniels will be back at some point, just not Sunday night against Denver.
Right. So they had a chance to flex out of that game on Sunday night. Broncos and Commanders going back to last week. They didn't. They elected not to. And reporters around the Commanders are saying that they expect Daniels to be back for the Minnesota game. But again, much like Joe Burrow with Cincinnati, why would you bring Daniels back? And I've seen that push, right, from media people, fans of the team who are in media. Commanders obviously have a really big following. They're like, we're 3-8 right now. Why would we want to bring him back? Hang on. The season's done. Bring him back in 2026. I agree with that. You have that. You also have the J.J. McCarthy mess, as he was... I don't want to be too mean to the kid because now he's in the concussion protocol. But that's not looking good. Yeah. And so, Paul, could it get any worse with Max Brosmer? I don't know if it can.
Yeah, we're about to find out. I think it could. Now you take on Seattle on the road. I mean, what are they going to score more than 7 points in that game to throw that kid in there? And it's hilarious that Charch talked about this 2 weeks ago when it happened. McCarthy would have had a better passer rating if he just took every snap and fired it into the ground than what he did in Lambeau on Sunday.
Yep.
Impossible and hard to believe. So it's a debacle for the Vikings. Brosmer's in a tough situation if he goes. Still waiting on Stroud to get cleared. They expect that to happen, but that number got as high as 4.5. Their season on the line, going to Indy now, and waiting on Stroud to get cleared. And then bad news for the Patriots. They win the game, but you're down 3 linemen now, and Campbell goes on IR. They hope, Vrabel hopes they get him back at some point, but now they're going to have to do this. Certainly the schedule helps up. They're going to have to do this down a couple linemen.
Well, here's the deal, right? They have until Monday, and they get a really bad defense in the Giants, and then they go on their bye. So I guess the schedule is going to help out a little bit here for that. And then Kevin Stefanski is going to name, well, he did, Shedeur Sanders is going to get the start again for the Browns next week against the San Francisco 49ers.
Had to do it. Have to. You'd lost 13 games on the road.
Why would you not start him?
Yeah. Why did he wait? Gabriel cleared. He's okay, but it should have been immediately. Yeah, he gets the start against the 49ers. I mean, you're not going anywhere anyways. And finally, he's the first rookie to win a game, his first start since Zaire in 95 that we talked about all week. So good for him. I mean, it's a lot of it, everyone's doubting me. I'm going to prove people wrong. Some of that stuff, puffing his chest out. I feel good for him. He got the win. The throw early on, the deep bomb rolling out was a hell of a play.
That was a really good throw.
But a lot of this stuff, I mean, you could have made the pass to Sampson. And then it's all
him.
Yak, right? So the nice play to Judy. I don't know. He lost his mind. There are people chasing you. You might want to protect the football and not let up. But I thought pretty good. It was a bad team, horrible organization, but a good win. And Sanders showed some glimpses there and flashes. It'll be more difficult against the Niners, but then again, San Francisco's 31 in pass rush win rate. So he should have time to throw. So good for him.
Yeah, now the Raiders are firing everybody but the head coach here, Pete
Yes,
Carroll.
yes.
He's the team is just, they have nothing. I mean, I honestly think that they might be the worst team in the NFL. I get it. You can throw back at me that they beat Tennessee. I'm talking right now. I think I would take Tennessee. And by the way, it doesn't even matter to me that they beat them. I'm talking about overall
You're right.
current state of the team.
Yeah.
I think
fight.
There's no fight.
No fight. And firing people left and right. My source was right about Chip Kelly. It just took 2 weeks longer than what we thought, that he would be gone, and he wasn't well liked in the building. It took them a half to figure out you have to go shotgun because you can't block them up front. The O-line is so bad. They could have had 15 sacks in that game.
Of course. Yeah.
10 sacks. Now, Garrett, he's going to break the record, but it was just a jailbreak every single time. Offensive line so bad, you take a running back top 10, no room to run. Trade Myers, other than Bowers, no one can get open. And Carroll refuses to put the blame on the quarterback.
He never will.
Who holds the ball too long and is turnover prone. So now Greg Olsen will call the plays against the Chargers. And as I said weeks ago, grab that win total adjusted under 4.5. I don't think they win another game.
No, I mean,
maybe Cleveland, but they lost that. I think they lose out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a minor miracle for this team to win one more game, I think, this year. And by the way, Greg Olsen, I did not realize this, taking over as the interim OC like you talked about. It's his third stint.
His third stint with the team.
Third stint as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, it's a gong show.
You got to be kidding me.
Yes.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell me where the win's coming here.
Chargers are going to be very popular Sunday in Survivor, off the bye. Denver at home, be all Bronco fans. At the Eagles, at the Texans, Giants, Chiefs. Oh, boy.
They don't have another win.
No, unless Kansas City sits people, which I don't see that scenario playing out. They're not going to win another game. And at some point, you got to go after the owner, too.
And by the way, if the Chiefs do need that game, that will be 90% red in the stadium.
Yeah.
And the week before that, I would anticipate 75% Giants fans also at the stadium. They're a complete. I would rather have F1 here every single Sunday than the Raiders in town.
Yep.
They're an embarrassment to the entire. They're an embarrassment to the league.
Yep.
Never should. Yeah, it's as bad as it gets. And then obviously, I mean, the NFL really is our drug, right? For like 5 months out of the year, we can't get enough of it, and it rarely disappoints. From an entertainment standpoint, Pauly, how about the comebacks alone yesterday? The Lions, no business winning that game. The Chiefs came back. Now, they had business winning that game. They outgained the Colts like 2.5-1 overall. Had a couple of bad turnovers.
Horrible in the red zone. Mahomes handed them 7 points right away.
That's exactly right. And then you had the Cowboys-Eagles. Total madness in that game. It's 21-0. Did you even see what the in-play was on Dallas to come back and win?
No, I didn't even look.
Neither did I.
No, it was over. Again, 3 times the Eagles have gone and a half without scoring. Second most in the league, only behind Tennessee. How can that happen with all this firepower? And again, you have to point the finger at the coaching staff. Oh, boy, that's a nice play. Oh, penalty coming back. Oh, there's Goddard for 10 yards. Penalty coming back. They're put themselves in 1st and 15 and 1st and 20, and then the silly turnovers. Why are you fielding a punt inside your own 5? And that becomes a fumble. Barkley puts it on the ground. And for them to go touchdown, 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 and then can't score the rest of the game, it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, after that, it went punt, halftime, punt, 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 missed 56-yard field goal, fumble, punt. They had 192 yards on their first 3 drives, all touchdowns. They had 107 yards on their next 8 drives overall. Prescott was amazing. Tip your cap to him. I don't know if they're going to beat the Chiefs. I think they're absolutely live to do it. But
Great story.
Things become interesting all of a sudden from a playoff perspective if they can get by Kansas City somehow.
Yeah, because then they played Detroit. And Detroit, remember, Gibbs called that a must-win. And the Giants should have beat them. Dan Campbell, I like where our defense is at. That's before the game. And Winston lights you up. Who's on Robinson? Nobody. So then it's just there. You got to figure it out, Detroit. And certainly that's a winnable game for Dallas and good returns on the early returns on the trades they've made as well.
Sure.
But
the rush defense now last handful of weeks been really, really good.
They can win those next 2 games, absolutely. And I don't know what to do with Kansas City. But Detroit continues to be a big disappointment that you call that a must-win, and you can't You needed overtime to survive against the Giants, and they helped you out with bizarre play calling.
Anything is on the table for that team, in my opinion. Like the Lions could be playing in the NFC title game. They might miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Imagine had they lost yesterday. They are really behind the eight ball at that point, and they could clearly lose to Green Bay coming up on Thursday. They have some more tough games beyond that. And by the way, the Bears are in first place of that division overall. I don't know if they can. But we've been saying that since like week 3.
I think your Ben Johnson case is getting stronger.
Oh, absolutely.
Because losses could be coming for the Patriots. And then again, what did you really expect from the Bears going in? As I keep pointing out, the Patriots were favored in 11 games before the season started. But enjoy the ride. It's awesome. 8-3. The wins by 1, 1, 5, 4, 2, and 3. Well, Cardiac kids do it again.
You know this, right? They're 8. So 5 games over 500, like you said. They have a negative point differential. Think about that for a second.
Oh, that's good.
And
that's good.
If you think that, if ever somebody, let me rephrase here, if ever anybody should go out there and play the lottery, scratch offs, whatever, go play Mega Bucks right now. It's the person who was in the Westgate Survivor contest, down to 8 entries. One person, the only person with 2 entries left, had 1 on the Lions and 1 on the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it yesterday on the Tailgate Show. Was it a misclick? People are speculating proxy mistake.
Right.
Cowboys down 21-0, come back to win, and he survives both those teams. You got to be kidding me.
Could be gone. And he still got both in with 8 left. Incredible.
Unreal. We'll get into Monday Night Football tonight. Brock Purdy, 0-8 ATS in this situation.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We will get to Monday Night Football coming up. A very big game for a lot of people still. Obviously with the bets, player props, ATS, total, whatever, but also Circa Survivor, $298 on the Niners tonight here at Circa. A couple over at the Westgate. I'm on the Niners over at the Westgate tonight. And before we get into that game, though, Pauly, what did you make of the finish of the Lions-Giants game when the Giants had a 2nd and goal at the 2? Then I think there was an incomplete pass. They lost 4 yards, so then it's a 4th and goal at the 6. Right around 3 minutes to play in the game. They led by 3. They kick a field goal there. They take a 6-point lead. But then you give the Lions that much time to come all the way, after the kickoff. They probably get it to 35. They know that they have to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
But if you go for it and you miss, then they have 3 minutes to come down and drive. And all they need is a field goal there. And that's exactly what took place.
Yeah, and from 59 yards. So that was tough. I think it's swung too far in the other direction. You're going for it, 4th and goal from the 6. Kafka. Well, I'm trying to win the game. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. But how about you kick it? What's your success rate? What are the odds that you convert on that? And then people questioning the play calling before it, where you didn't run the ball and try to chew more clock.
Sure.
Although the one play didn't work, as you talked about. 4th and goal from the 6. Kick it, go up 6. And it was like the LaFleur decision a couple weeks ago. Like 4th and 8 from the 13. What are we doing?
Right.
Take the chip shot field goal, and that cost him the game. So then he fires the defensive coordinator. I didn't know the interim could do that. That was Kafka's call to fire the DC today. He said, well, I changed my mind. I went back, look at tape. It wasn't good. They have blown 5 double-digit leads. It's a record.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And they spit it up. So everything had to go. You have to hit like a 6-teamer there if you have the Lions in Survivor, and then you get the touchdown from Gibbs right away, and then the stop. But it's just, they should have been out. They should have lost. You also get blown up, and Robinson and Winston, you had no answer. Big play after big play.
No.
How about the touchdown pass to Winston? I mean,
he put some moves on, by the way.
Yeah.
Somehow gets his way into the end zone.
Yeah, deep
ran
in the
ball
bag of
well.
tricks. It was excellent, no doubt.
I think if they don't lose that 4 yards there on that run play at the goal line to make it a 4th and goal at the 6, and they'd still like 4th and goal at the 2, then okay, if you want to go for it, then I'm okay with that. But from the 6, 4th and goal at the 6, come on, man.
I thought it was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
You're right. Make them score the touchdown and the extra point to beat you.
Yep.
Make them do it.
Yeah. If you're at the 1, fine. But I don't like your chances. 4th and goal from the 6.
Yep. As for tonight, the Niners are 7.5. They've taken a lot of money this week in this game. I think we're going to get some points here tonight as well.
5-point move. 5-point move on the total. This is a open 45. And then Bryce Young went off and McMillan went off against Atlanta with the look ahead.
Sure.
So most people expect points here. As I've talked about all week, the Niners on a 1-15 ATS run off a win since Christmas of 2023, and Carolina has already tied a record. 6 wins this season as underdogs, and now they're catching 7.5, and they're right there to win that division, and we'll see what happens with Mayfield moving forward.
Well, how about this angle? As Bryce Young is finally coming off of, well, it is his best game ever as a pro, right? He threw for 400 yards last week, did a great job in that spot against Atlanta, and McMillan was a big reason why. That's after, by the way, like 7 consecutive duds from him where he just wasn't doing anything at all with the ball, wasn't putting up numbers. He was going under all of his passing props. But now, again, does it continue tonight? Because you're taking on a 49ers team. They are 31st overall in the league at pass rush win rate. They cannot put pressure on the opposing quarterback. And quarterbacks are also throwing for 250 yards per game with a high completion percentage against this team. So their passing defense has been pretty much terrible the entire year. Well, Bose has been out pretty much the entire time. Warner as well. It got worse after those injuries. But I think if we ever expect Young to have another good game, I think it might be tonight. And I am convinced that Purdy, this offense will probably hum in again. Although here's the stat I wanted to get to: Brock Purdy is 2-6 straight up, 0-8 ATS. Last 8 starts following up a game when the team scored 30-plus points. That ties into that run of Shanahan after a win.
I don't get it. Can't handle prosperity. What's the problem? Great organization. Why do you have so many issues? String it together, right? Got to have this one tonight. Then you go to Cleveland. Then you take on Tennessee. Playoffs right there. I know Paul Bovey made the case. He bet some no on San Francisco. But at home, the game you got to win. I can't figure out the Panthers. I mean, are they good? Are they below average? The Buffalo performance, although Dalton was compromised, Young finally looked good, but also Dowdle hasn't been done much since the Green Bay game, and he got hurt in that game. So you're right. It should be a comfortable game in the pocket with time to throw for Young, but this is a game where Purdy should light up Carolina as well. A lot of people making the case for Pearsall now that he's finally healthy. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of McCaffrey, but maybe it's just spread it around and everyone eats like the Arizona performance when they were so good.
Yeah. It's a CMC revenge game, Pauly.
Yes, you got that too.
As he gets his former team. Purdy at vsin.com/NFL props. The Opta AI projections, they are projecting him to go over by 17 yards in this game tonight. His number's around 208.5. They also are projecting Purdy to have a big game, right around 270 passing, which would go over as well. McCaffrey, per their numbers, stays under his rushing yards prop and goes over. This is something that you've been on pretty much the entire year. They're projecting him for low 50s with receiving yards. That can be a little bit tricky here, though, based on, again, this team took money this week. So if they're going to be in in this favorite role, if they're leading throughout like last week, maybe this isn't a game where they're just going to dump it off to McCaffrey a lot.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say Tampa catches a break that Mayfield could play Sunday. But if he doesn't, then you're going to need him for those Carolina games to decide the division, and they play 2 times in the final 3 games.
How about this, how it's completely changed now for the Buccaneers? They are my God, are they in rough shape, dude?
Yep. Can't stop anything.
No.
The injuries. He gets hurt on the Hail Mary. Somehow that game stays under. But in any event, it's right there now where Carolina could steal this division, and Tampa was much like the Buffalo Bills. They were a huge favorite, and now they're just hanging on for dear life here. You're going to get Bucky back, get Godwin back. But that was just a terrible performance, and the Rams dismantled them last night.
I think there's an angle here. I think both teams, obviously, both things would happen here. Carolina to win the division, which would also result, I believe, in the Buccaneers missing the playoffs. Because, you have teams on the outside right now, like the Lions. The Niners are a fringe playoff team. They have a lot of easy games coming up. If Tampa Bay does it, and by the way, they're minus 450 right now to win their division at DraftKings. Minus 450.
Yeah. How about the McMillan move? The guy went from 5-1 to the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. He didn't even play.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's based on Dart not playing again and another dud. I'm not even going to call it a dud for Megbuka because Mayfield is doing, and he got hurt.
Right.
They can't throw the football.
No. And once 2 gloves came in, forget it.
Oh, no, they weren't moving the ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's Charlie check down, run the clock out, get out of here.
I would guess if McMillan has a nice game tonight, he is going to go to odds on to win this award just because there are so many questions right now. And Henderson didn't do much yesterday. I don't think Junkins can pull it off at this point. And then beyond that, I don't think you're going to get a long shot here at this point. So it's probably between like the top 6 guys on the board right now. And I'm just, this 180 that we've seen from Tampa Bay, I call it what you want. I mean, the injuries catching up to the team, although they got Godwin back, but a lot of the other stuff where either offensive linemen, defensive players, wide receiver missing pretty much the entire year, and then just the lack of efficiency on offense overall. Throwing the football just hasn't been there.
Well, yeah, the defense has let them down. The defense,
that's the main problem.
You give up 28 at home to the Patriots. Henderson kills you. You give up 44 to the Bills. Again, your kickoff coverage was horrendous. And then the defense didn't give you a chance. And then that fluke interception with the pick 6 with Otten juggling the ball. And then Rams just getting whatever they wanted. And the Stafford move, too. What a run. A 27-0 touchdown INT ratio last 7 games. Ridiculous.
I think you can pretty much shut it down.
Shut it down?
The MVP? I think you can shut it down.
I do think he should be higher than $2.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be, if he stays healthy. Oh, there's only one guy who can beat him.
That's right.
Now.
It's only 2 guys now.
Right.
That is dead. We only got 6 games. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't make a case for anyone else.
It's not going to be Jonathan Taylor.
No.
It's not going to be Dak Prescott. Stop tweeting me. It's not going to be Dak. We're not taking him at 500 to 1. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
But also with the 49ers, look at the 2 teams that are ahead of them in that division. I was listening to Money Moves on the way in. JBT brought it up. He's like, they might be the 2 best teams, and it might not even be close in the entire league.
Thank you. I was listening to a show yesterday, and they said, boy, it's the Rams. Is anyone else good? Seattle just outplayed them last week.
Seattle's awesome.
Darnold had 4 turnovers. They should have won the game.
They absolutely annihilated Tennessee yesterday, and the game was out of touch, and they're like, okay, we're going to stop playing now.
Those are the 2 big boys, and then there's a gap. No doubt about it, the way they're playing. Our Black Friday specials live, and just for $60, full VSiN Pro access, everything we offer all the way through May 1st. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits from DraftKings, Circo, and Brocco, and the AI-powered prop tools. They were excellent in the NFL, great with the quarterbacks as well. Coverage of every major sport through the spring. Best new subscriber offer of the year is here. Don't wait. VSiN.com/subscribe now. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now.
We'll keep talking about Monday Night Football tonight. Deeper dive here into some player props. Also, we'll hit the NBA card as Nick Whalen joins the program from RotoWire, as he does every Monday at this time. We'll get his thoughts on the betting card coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue here on a Monday. It is Follow the Money. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is a spot, and right now we head out to the Progressive Guest Line as Nick Whalen joins the program. He is with RotoWire. Happy Thanksgiving week, Nick. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Doing great, guys. Doing great. Looking forward to Panthers-Niners tonight. We got 10 NBA games on the schedule. And then, like you said, of course, one of my favorite holidays coming up later this week. So all things are good at the Whalen House, and always good to be back with you guys.
Very cool. I have a ticket tonight, an entry on the 49ers in a Survivor contest out here in Las Vegas. You have an entry on the 49ers as well. What is your level of concern here as they take on the Panthers?
It's probably higher than it should be, guys, because I am just a card-carrying pessimist at all times. So like I haven't felt good about any of my Survivor picks so far this year, but we've made it to week 12, so things are going okay. This was kind of the obvious play for me. I had already used Seattle. I had already used Baltimore. I had already used Detroit. So, next on the list had to be the 49ers. So it's one of my dicier picks of the year so far, just in terms of where the spread comes in. But I'm just not a believer, guys, in Carolina. I know this 49ers defense has a lot of holes right now, specifically against the pass. But I think if I'm the Niners, I am daring Bryce Young to do what he did last week and throw for 400-plus yards on this defense. I know it's not the Niners defense of old, but that is just not who Bryce Young has been really at any point in his career, certainly not earlier this season. I mean, prior to that Falcons game, he had 7 games in a row where he failed to reach 200 yards, was averaging basically 145 yards per game in that span. So, the number reflects, as it should, that San Francisco is the much better team. And I think this maybe will be one of those reminder games where, okay, Carolina's had a fun season. It's been a fun story. There's still just not a ton of talent on this roster.
Yeah, and also I think one thing that we have to like here is that they took money this week too, going from 7 to 7.5. So that I think is a good sign tonight, Nick.
I hope so. Guys. I know there are some interesting trends. I read that the Niners are 0-12 ATS in their last 12 home games after a straight up win.
There it is again.
Which,
yes.
It's it's one of those where you're like, all right, that seems a little bit fluky, but it's enough of a sample that maybe there is something there. Again, it'll come down to whether Carolina can actually score with the Niners, because I know this is an improved Panthers defense. I don't think the Niners are going to have a ton of trouble, getting into the mid to high 20s. It's a question of whether Carolina can keep up. And, what's interesting to me is that I do think this could be an underspot at 49.5 because you have two teams that do ultimately sit on the ball. They both allow long drives on the defensive side as well. I mean, Carolina, guys, 30th in the NFL in pass rate over expected. So, it's a team that loves to run the ball. They've had success doing that. They're also 25th in points per drive. They're 25th in score percentage. So I think we're going to need to see some more urgency offensively from Carolina. I don't really trust Bryce Young to do that.
Very good. Good breakdown. Nick, I said earlier, I'm waiting for the Bills, Chiefs, Detroit, and Baltimore to snap out of it and show me something like they're contenders. Now, certainly Baltimore's on the winning streak, but you look at who they played, and if Breece Hall doesn't fumble, that's a game. And that gets interesting. Again, Jackson won't take off and run. He's hurt. What do you think about what's going on with these big boys who we expected to be maybe 1 or 2 seed and might be lucky to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think you could apply that to all those teams that you just mentioned. And I was looking at the AFC Championship odds earlier today. There's a reason we have 6 teams priced between 5-1 and plus 550 right now. I think even the books are throwing up their hands and saying, we're waiting for Buffalo, we're waiting for KC, we're waiting for Baltimore to assert themselves. And, to speak on Baltimore specifically, in terms of wins and losses, they've done exactly what we expected since Lamar Jackson came back. But at the same time, I also feel like they played the exact same game 3 or 4 weeks in a row, even going back to Miami, where they had a bunch of 3 and outs early on. And you're like, man, thank God we were playing the Dolphins. And then the week after, it's thank God we were playing JJ McCarthy.
Yes.
And then thank God we were playing the Browns. Thank God we were playing the Jets. I know the schedule doesn't pick up all that much. They get the Bengals in 2 of their next 3. They do still have to play the Steelers twice. They get the Packers late in the season. So there will be some tests. Again, the results have been there for the Ravens. They've won 5 games in a row. I don't think a single one of those wins to me has registered as even remotely impressive. I think each of the last 2 weeks, if you are not playing 2 of the 4 worst teams in the NFL, you lose at least one, if not both of those games.
Yes.
Yep. Totally agree. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Nick Whalen. He is on the Progressive Guest Line with RotoWire. You can follow him on X at Whalen, but it's a number 1 instead of the letter L in the name there. NBA tonight, Miami's taking on Dallas, and you have your eyes on a player prop here in this game, I believe, yeah?
This is one where I like a side, guys. So
I'm
looking at the Heat to cover 7.5 against Dallas, and I know it's maybe a slightly bigger number than you'd like, but I'm not in on this Dallas team. It's the worst offense in the NBA by a pretty good margin so far this season. Defensively, they've actually been really good, and that's kind of been their identity under Jason Kidd. Even without Anthony Davis, those numbers have sustained. So they match up pretty well with Miami, who's also an excellent defensive team. But the gap between these teams offensively is massive. And, Miami's getting Bam Adebayo back. They're getting Tyler Hero back tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, both of those guys, maybe they'll be softly reintroduced into the lineup. But I still think those are huge additions. They don't have Norman Powell. They don't have Andrew Wiggins. But the Heat have plenty of depth on this roster to replace both of those guys, specifically Andrew Wiggins. I think we see even more of Jaime Jaquez, Pelle Larsson. They go 8, 9, 10 deep in Miami with guys ready to step up. So I think this is a pretty good spot to ride the Miami Heat here. And then you mentioned I do have a player prop. I'm looking at Trey Murphy tonight. Pelicans Bulls, the game everybody's circling on the calendar. Give me Trey Murphy over 28.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. It's not often I'm targeting the Pelicans in any sort of betting market where I'm for them, but it's a big pace-up spot tonight. You got a bad defensive team in the Chicago Bulls. They play really fast. They don't play a lot of defense. And Trey Murphy got off to a really slow start. I think we're still getting some slight discounts on his numbers. Last 9 games, I should say, he's up to 25 points, almost 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game. And then would also look at the over 2.5 threes tonight for Trey Murphy, averaging 3.2 makes over that aforementioned span, taking almost 9 threes per game.
And I'll give you another guy, too, that I've had my eyes on, Kobe White. Now, he's only played 3 games this year. He came back on the 16th, but he has scored 27, 25, and 20 points in those games. He's also taken a ton of threes. He's averaging 9.3 threes per game. His prop was at 2.5, and they already jacked it up to 3.5 for the game tonight. So maybe tread a little lightly with that one. Nick, thanks so much for the time today. Best of luck tonight and happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you guys. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Good
Nick
job.
Whalen, RotoWire. He was on the Progressive guest line. JBT said earlier, he's taking a shot on the Heat at 16-1 to win the East. With Hero coming back.
Love this offense.
Yep.
Coaching matters, too. How about our Pistons? 12 wins in a row. The 1 seed, 14-2. Second best record in the league. They should pummel Indiana tonight.
I have a bet in that game.
Okay. OKC, 7. You want to say it now or wait?
You want it now or I can wait? I'll wait.
OKC, 17-1. Again, the one loss on the back-to-back against Portland, and then they got revenge. Still doing it with key guys out.
It is unbelievable how that team, you've said it
Yep.
now the entire year, the run's coming at some point.
Yes, it is.
Like it's an avalanche. I don't know if it's going to be to begin the game. I don't know if it's coming at the beginning of the third quarter. But at some point, when you think the game might be close for the other team, it's not. Because here comes a 20-1 run in like 3 minutes.
The Pelicans are 2-15, and their pick goes to Atlanta.
Yeah.
The unmitigated disaster. And the Wizards have lost 14 in a row, and they're 1-15. So you got everything going on here in the association, and an all-time bad beat. You won't believe what happened over the weekend in the NBA. We'll get to that in 5 minutes. So where are you at with Baltimore? Because I'm watching that game, and you're waiting for them to dominate, take over. Looked like for a second they could lose the game. Defense was awesome again, but if Hall doesn't fumble, that's squeaky bum time. That becomes a one-score game late, and there were 2 key plays. They're driving. It's 3rd and 7. Jackson clearly can pick up the first down if he runs. He couldn't accelerate. There was nothing there. He couldn't run away from 3 guys, and they had to settle for 3 like they did several times and had to kick the field goal. I'm still waiting. I know he's hurt. They're winning games. But now Pittsburgh's coming up. They got to play New England. Nick's exactly right. They are just playing easy teams and catching them at the right time. If they were playing above average teams, they were going to lose some of these games.
Okay, so let's say Jackson, like his health remains the same until the end of the year. Can that team go to Denver and win a playoff game?
They cannot win unless he is close to 90% and has his feet. It sets up the passing attack, too.
Right. I'm trying to think like how many tough outs there are going to be in the AFC. Probably not going to beat the Chiefs if they meet in the playoffs. Like, are they going to beat the Colts? Oh, Colts are a pretty damn good football team. But will the Colts even make the playoffs? I don't know. Very tough schedule. Here comes Houston. Jacksonville might win that division. The Bills aren't very good. The Patriots, okay, but now they have injuries.
Jacksonville won the game, and they were -4 in the turnover differential. Look that one up.
Trevor Lawrence is turning into a little bit of a Jameis Winston. Three touchdowns and 3 INTs yesterday.
Terrible. But they got it done, and the schedule's so easy, right?
It is.
But you're right.
Yeah.
This is tough for the Colts, and it continues on Sunday. And the Chiefs did an excellent job defensively. VSiN Pro subscribers have exclusive access to all new AI player prop projections powered by OptAI, the trusted data source behind elite soccer analytics in the UK. They did a great job again over the weekend, especially with the quarterbacks. And check out the NBA player prop projections as well. Compared directly to DraftKings lines up, you find value. Access it all at the VSiN Pro subscription, VSiN.com/subscribe, VSiN.com/subscribe.
Win-lose up next. Pauly's going to tell you about a 110-1 shot that cashed in the early games. And teams were 3,065-0 in this spot before this weekend.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, eclectic mix as always. Let's ride. First touchdown, early games, Giants 12-1, and Mitch had a buddy who was at the game who had Robinson first touchdown of the day, 110-1.
How about that? Yep.
A week late for us, but he finally went off.
DraftKings offers that.
Yes, it's a whole list. It's got all these guys available. First team, first quarterback to throw a touchdown, first interception, and first player to score of the day. It's a great
Incredible.
job. It's a great job. Most points scored, dead heat, Lions and Rams. Lions were 5-1, Rams were 6. Highest scoring game, Lions-Giants 4-1. Lowest scoring game, Vikings-Packers 5-1. Fewest points scored, Vikings 8-1.
Yeah, although Browns-Raiders honestly could have been like 6-0.
That should have been. Yes. Cowboys in play, 14-1. I'm still stunned. In a $5,000 buy-in with 8 left, somebody used an underdog in Survivor. Misclick, what happened? Error. It got there somehow, some way. Philadelphia fell asleep. YOLO, Winston delivers again. Most passing yards, 15-1, cash it. Anytime touchdown, again, cash it, plus 650. Non-quarterback to throw a touchdown, cash it, plus 350. Most rushing yards, Gibbs, 15-1. JSN did it again, most receiving, 7-1. He breaks the Seahawks record for most yards in a season. There's 6 games left.
If he had more touchdowns right now, would he be in the MVP conversation?
I would hope so.
1,313 yards on 80 catches.
He's now 2-1 to break the record, I think. Megatrons?
Yeah. But I will remind people, Cooper Kupp put up
That's true.
like the best season ever by a wide receiver
Yep.
a couple years ago and never even had a chance to win it.
Yep. A quiet Saturday in college football. Tulsa 3-1, Nevada 2-1, Wisconsin again, plus 280 on the money line. NHL, the Wild have scored first 12 games in a row. Seattle Kraken did it again. They've lost 17 in a row on a back-to-back. 16 of them, they scored 2 goals or fewer.
Well, yesterday was not easy, though, for the Islanders.
And it was 1-0 in a,
Shootout.
Great job, Jonathan Davis, following that. Over the weekend in the NBA, Sacramento won at Denver. Denver's got injuries now. Gordon's out, Brown's out, Kings plus 450, Nets plus 580 on the money line. They shocked the Celtics.
They did. Now, the Kings win against Denver came after Denver played Houston on Friday night.
Correct.
That game was on Amazon. I got to tell you, the setup on Amazon for the NBA is awesome. You can do the multi-view. And that Houston Nuggets game, we need to see those two teams play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That would be an epic series.
I agree. EPL, Nottingham Forest 6-1, beat Liverpool, Newcastle 3-1. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, send in your tweets and videos. You guys do a great job. At Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Keep them coming. More and more and more every single day. This is a $2,000 helmet drink at the F1 that was just here. I don't care.
Oh, so it's just like, it's obviously really good alcohol. Do you get to keep the helmet?
I hope so. Yes. Pouring it in there, fills it up, put the straw in.
Well, first of all, how big is this? Does it serve like 30 people? Putting in bottle after bottle here.
I can't tell. And how much ice is in there, too. Yeah. Give me Starkus, no doubt. I'll take J.R. Starkus. $2,000. Come on.
Did you watch the race?
5 minutes of it. I just like this spear following the race and looking at it with the eyes.
I'll tell you, I watched the whole thing. I will say, if you love this sport, good for you. I don't know how you do it.
Yep. I'm with you. And it seems like Verstappen wins every single race.
Yeah.
How about dogs dancing through the snow? That time of year again. This is always good. Highlight reel. Coming in.
So
Look
good.
at this guy. The ears flopping. Deep snow, right? He's in the deep stuff here, right? Coming in, galloping all the way down. That's excellent. Great job by a viewer sending that in. The dogs in the snow. I like the other one where it's so cold they just do a U-turn and say, no, I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to the bathroom. Lose some. UConn, Florida Atlantic under 67 down to 62. No good. Texas State over 54 up to 59. 3-0 at halftime. Come on. Saints do it again. 1-10 ATS in the first quarter. They've been outscored 85-19. Saints plus 3 went off the favorite. 2 times they had first and goal inside the 3. Settled for a total of 3 points. They also missed 2 field goals. Now they brought Tucker in for a workout.
That was off their bye.
It's terrible. Couldn't believe it. And the Lions were supposed to roll. The 13-0 run, ATS off a loss from 10 up to 14.5. Should have lost the game. Bad for the books. SMU, Louisville under, 53 down to 49, ice cream. Cowboys, Eagles under, 51 down to 47. Cards, Jags over, 44 up to 47. Packers, Vikings under, 44 down to 41. Sunday Night Football over. Tough beat there. Injury to Mayfield. Game died. And here's what Mitch was talking about. Over the weekend, the Timberwolves were laying 4 or money line. They were up 8 with 40 seconds left. Phoenix scores, steal, 3-pointer, steal, 2 steal. 113-105. The Timberwolves blew the game in regulation in that spot since 2022. With an 8-point lead and less than a minute left, teams were 3,065-0. Shame on you, Minnesota. How do you get? Come on. You shouldn't be able to. You don't turn the ball over 3 straight times in the NBA.
I was watching all that stuff on Friday night. It was an incredible night in the association. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I never once thought of even thinking about betting the Suns to come back and win.
Before the line move, sharp plays already there. First touchdown in the primetime games. The Mr. Poison tweets have been with Follow the Money since day one. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts, trusted by pros, watched by the books. Great sources across all the sports. Sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line. Sharpplays.com.
What do you think of this move in college football to win the Heisman Trophy before the game on Saturday for Notre Dame? Their awesome running back, Jeremiah Love, was in the 25 to 35 to 1 range. Then he just had a huge game. I mean, that game was over with 3 minutes into the first quarter.
I've never seen that before.
Neither have I.
It was 21-0. They hadn't run an offensive play.
They had 35 points, and they had the ball for 36 seconds. I've never heard of that
good.
my entire life.
That is good.
But now he's a second shot on the board behind Mendoza.
Oh.
And I would imagine they have Stanford coming up.
He'll go off.
Right? If they want him to get this award, here you go. Here's 220 and 3 touchdowns.
What if Sayin beats Michigan and looks good?
Well, Pavi also put up huge numbers for Vandy as well.
Yeah, they got to beat Tennessee and they're underdogs, but that's...
I would agree with that. Now, if he does that...
I don't care. It was Kentucky. That was... Come on. I mean, you're
gonna... Well, then I got to say that Julian Sayin's schedule for the most part has stunk.
Yeah, but he's got incredible numbers.
He does.
But, that's... It's going to be a tough decision. Yeah. And certainly Mendoza, they got one of the best wins of the season going into Oregon and beating them.
Yeah, and by the way, to your point, what our talking point last week, and we've done it every single year forever. The SEC playing the Cupcakes this last weekend.
Good job by Dan Lanning, yeah.
It's terrible, right? So,
point that out.
And you've been saying now for a long time that, and a lot of people, right? Notre Dame, they have to go to a conference. I would agree with that. What are they doing getting away with these teams down the stretch? I get it. They front load the schedule. They used to play.
What's your problem?
Syracuse and Stanford.
Well, I
current
know,
state.
You can't control that, though.
I understand that, but it's time to beef it up a little bit here.
Yeah.
And by doing so, that would happen directly by going into a conference.
Yeah.
And nobody calls them out for it.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, there's 2 interesting things here. Number one, let's say Miami takes care of Pitt. Notre Dame's going to go through the entire season and not have a ranked win? Not have one win over a current team that's ranked? Possible? Number 2, it's what Narduzzi said. I mean, I don't care about if we lose this game by 100 points. We got the next 2 matter. Right. Georgia Tech and Miami.
Right.
So that's a nice win by Notre Dame, and they destroyed them. But that's an incredible comment from a coach who essentially said, I don't care about the game. And that's going to be one of your big wins. And it's going to be used against Miami. And Miami, if Pitt wins, they're in the ACC title game.
How about that game? They're up before you could blink. It was 28-0 over Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
The Ramble Wreck were at home.
Yeah.
What was that performance?
That I looked at. That was 12-1 in play. I can't explain it.
Well,
either.
then they came all the way back, made
and
it a game, had a chance, and then there's a pick 6 that goes all the way back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And completely killed them.
I don't know. Maybe they get chaos. They're running out of time here, and there's some big favorites this week. But Friday could decide it as well.
I bet that, by the way.
If Ole Miss loses, bye-bye. And how Kiffin has handled this is a joke. I'll make my decision Saturday. I mean, I'm here in LSU, all but a done deal. But he's going to coach the game. They've never made this is the biggest opportunity in the history of the program. And it's just going to be, okay, after the Egg Bowl, see ya. That's it. How does the committee not kill him?
I know.
I mean, you're going to lose your coach. You got to dock
They can't
him.
be in if he's going to take another job. Sorry, can't be. I bet 10-1 on them to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, and that line's down to 7 now.
7 now, yep. And that was sitting at, 9.5?
Horrible
late last
stretch.
week?
Horrible.
Yep. If they lose the game and he's gone, keep him out.
Forget it.
And Ole Miss people should want to burn his house down.
Yep.
I don't want to go that far because they actually might because they're so crazy down there.
Remember, he couldn't get out of Tennessee alive. He was lucky.
I know. Week 13 is here. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, 0 bye week, Survivor Madness, playoff pushes. We'll discuss all the numbers next year on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.